Hi, welcome to Mixergy HQ. I'm Roy Fugler, Training Officer for Mixergy, and today we're going to be talking about the gauge. So the Mixergy gauge, it comes separate in a box and it's just plugged in using a USB type connector. It can stick either on the side of the cylinder, but for the purposes of what we're going to be doing today, I'm going to stick it onto these steps because it's magnetic. So when you fit one for the customer, you can have it outside the cylinder cupboard so the customer's got access to it. The gauge does a number of functions. One, it allows the customer to alter the amount of hot water that they've got in their cylinder, and it also allows you, when you're commissioning it, to run through commissioning checks. It does a self-check, which is what we're going to cover next. So as soon as we power up the unit, what happens is we get the little Wi-Fi LED glows red, so it's checking out the Wi-Fi, and the top red light is flashing, looking for that Wi-Fi connection. Once it's happy we've got the Wi-Fi connection, it's going to go through a self-check. So it's going to check various sensors and making sure that everything's okay. So now it's happy with the Wi-Fi connection, everything's communicating, and it's now checking various sensors. Green means that that section is okay. A red segment would indicate a fail, and we're going to do another video on that. And it's now checking switches and making sure that they're okay. Once it's done this and it's happy, that's the unit all ready to go. We just need to set up what heat source it's got. That can either be done on the app or it can be done using the gauge. So to do it on the gauge, what we need to do is hold the up and down arrows together. It then goes through a series of white lights, and if we set it on red, that's set up for an indirect heat source, an oil boiler or a gas boiler. Because of the versatility of a Mixergy cylinder, we could then, in the future, change it to a heat pump. So again, up and down lights. And now we set it on green, and that's set for a heat pump. If the customer had a problem with the boiler or the heat pump, or they want to use solar PV, we then set it up for blue. So now it's set up to work on electric, which could be used if the customer had a problem with their oil or gas boiler or the heat pump in an emergency, or if we're using it on solar PV. The other function of the gauge, the up and down arrows, at the moment it's indicating that we've got 3/10 of the cylinder is at temperature. The customer can adjust this either using the app or on the gauge, and all they need to do is push the up arrow. So now, as we can see, we've got 5/10 available, and the green indicator light for a heating demand has come on. So we're now heating up. And this has been done through the immersion heater because we haven't changed it back onto, in this case, it's on a heat pump.